Hey y'all, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm Jacqueline and this is Lowcarblish. If you're new here, welcome. This is the channel where we take our favorite high carb foods and make low carb versions out of them to try and control our blood sugars and reverse type 2 diabetes. If you're my regular beautiful people, hi! Today I'm going to be doing this video for y'all, and it may be a little choppy because I got a little drama going on here today. I took Macy out this morning for a walk, and I've got a humongous tree that has like split in at the bottom and fallen over, and it's just one smaller tree holding it up right now. So I've got a tree guy coming in about half an hour, and then my friend is taking me to the car dealership because my horn quit working on my car, which is a safety issue. And it worked out though because the airbag that has been on recall for the driver's side finally came in, so they're going to do all that in one appointment, so that's great. So if this video is a little bit choppy, I apologize for that, but I really wanted to get this out for you today because I think it's really important. And I also want to talk to y'all about a couple of things I've been doing that have been working for me to bring my blood sugars down even more, and mainly I'm noticing a big difference in the morning with the dawn effect. So I'm going to sit down and talk to you about that too, but it's probably going to have to be once I get back. And the reason we're doing this part, because this has to age for at least an hour, and 3 or 4 hours is better. So a couple of y'all have emailed me telling me that you really miss Chinese food and Asian cuisine, and I do too. And so I've been working for a while to try to get a recipe up for us that would be as close to the authentic, version as I could and still stay low carb. And so I started researching about how they tenderize the meat that they serve in Chinese restaurants. When, like, I used to get broccoli and beef and the chicken and sweet peas, and then I used to get the shrimp with lobster sauce. That's what it was. And I still haven't figured that one out yet, but I'm working on it. So what they do is something called velveting the meat. And I had never heard of this, and it scared me a little bit when I saw it, because when I saw the ingredients that they use to do that, it includes cornstarch. And I was hesitant, but I said, I'm going to try this. If it jacks my blood sugar up, I'm just going to can it and we'll move on. Well, miracle of miracles, it not only doesn't jack my blood sugar up, it has like zero effect on my blood sugar. And part of that's because we're going to be rinsing this off and then parboiling this meat before we put it in. And this will be, today will be the 5th time that I've made this recipe, because every time I make something new, I try my best to test it 3 or 4 times, feed it to my friends, and see what people think. And so far, the 3 people that I've fed this to absolutely love it, and I absolutely love it. And I think you will too. If you like Asian cuisine and you love that really tender meat that you have in that, this is going to do it for you. So let me preface it by saying this. I have had 0 negative effects from this. If you are concerned, I would suggest that you do what Dennis Pollock tells us all to do. Check with Mike or Molly the meter. And like I said, I've done that, and this does not affect my blood sugar in the least. So the first thing that we're going to do here is you need a sharp knife, and you're going to go, I'm going to try to get this up a little bit closer to the camera. If you can see, the grain is running this way in this flank steak. And so you're going to cut against the grain, and that is going to help tenderize it as well. And for those of you that are saying, well, couldn't you just do that and not do the other? You can, and it will help a little bit, but it is not going to tenderize it to the degree that we want it to be tenderized. So if you just prefer not to try this and you cut it against the grain, it will help, but it's not going to be the same. So the other trick to this deal is we're cutting the meat very thinly. And so if y'all can see that slice there, how thin that is, that's how I'm going to cut this whole steak. Now this flank steak is a ½ pound, and so with this I'm going to be using 1 teaspoon of the baking soda and 1 teaspoon of the cornstarch. And all we're going to be doing is putting this in a bowl, and I got a little piece of gristle here, there we go. We're going to be putting this in a bowl, and I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of cornstarch and 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and then mix it all up. And so you're going to be amazed at how this tenderizes this meat. I know I was. And it kind of cracked me up because I've spent so many years. I was trying to do this before I even started eating low carb, just because I was like, how do they do that? And I tried all the different techniques that you could find online at the time for tenderizing meat. You're getting a meat hammer and pounding it, and that didn't really work. Let me turn this over and get rid of this little piece of gristle here because it's getting on my nerves. Right. And so I tried all that, and I mean, it was okay, but it was not what I was looking for, when we're trying to make like authentic Chinese food. This is the real deal. And this absolutely works. Like I said, this is the 5th time I've made this, and I'm confident that it's going to turn out because all the other times have, and everybody I've fed it to so far really loves it. So, and if I said that already, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get this done before the tree guy gets here, but like I said, I really wanted to share this with y'all because it's really important for us to have substitutions and things that we enjoy, and this is one of those deals where it really worked for me, and it's going to work for you too if you do this. Alright, so now I've got all the meat. This one piece here, this last piece, has got a couple tough spots on it, so I am going to cut that out right there. And since this piece is a little bit thicker than the other ones and I can't cut it safely, I'm going to cut it in half this way, and it'll still work. Alright, let me rinse my hands off here. Right back though. Okay, so all we're going to do is we are going to put this meat in this bowl, and let me grab a spoon real quick. And we're just going to put the meat in the bowl. And when you add this stuff to the meat, you can start up with a spoon. I like to get in here with my hands just because I really want to make sure that everything is coated well. So let me set that there. And I start off putting a teaspoon. Now this is a ½ pound, so it's a teaspoon per ½ pound or 2 teaspoons per pound. So if you're cooking for more than 1 or 2 people and you've got a bigger steak that you need to tenderize, this is the way to go. And one thing I love about this too is flank steak's a fairly inexpensive cut of meat compared to the regular steaks and stuff, and it's going to be just melt in your mouth tender, y'all. Melt in your mouth tender. So I just take this and sprinkle the cornstarch liberally around the top, and just trying to, get as even as possible. It don't have to be perfect, of course, and then we're going to do the same thing with the baking soda. Now I will tell you that there are some people that say that you don't have to rinse this, and the very first time I made it, I didn't rinse it, and so it had a kind of a funky taste from the baking soda. It wasn't horrible, but like you could taste it. You knew it was in there. And I'm going to just go in here and mush all this up and make sure that each piece of meat has got the coating on it. Because what's happening here is we've got chemistry going on. You know how they say better living through chemistry? The cornstarch and the baking soda work together, and they break down the fibers in the meat muscle. And so that's what is going to make this tender. Alright, I'll rinse my hands one more time. Alright. Thank y'all for being patient with me about that today. So that is all you have to do to get this meat tenderized. So now I'm going to put a thing of aluminum foil on it, cover it up, and put it in the refrigerator. It has to sit for at least an hour if you're doing this and you're in a hurry. And it will get tender in an hour, but the longer you can leave it, the better. And if you're doing it at night, you can absolutely leave it in there overnight. I've done that too, and it works fine. In fact, like I said, the longer you leave it, the more tender the meat gets. So I'm going to put this in the refrigerator. I'm going to wait for the tree guy to get here, and then my friend's going to take me to the dealership, and when I get back, this will be ready to go, and I'll show you how to cook it, and I'm going to make the sweet orange sauce that goes with it. So thank y'all for coming to hang out with me today, and I'll see you. Y'all will just be a second or two till I get back, but for me it'll be 3 or 4 hours, so I'll see you when I get back. Okay, y'all, so I'm going to have this little chat with you before the tree guy gets here, because I got enough time to get through it, I think. So I have been struggling ever since I got diagnosed. I have been struggling with my waking blood sugars. I've got dawn effect, like bad sometimes. And I had gotten so frustrated about it because it just seemed like it wasn't coming down at all, you know. And I'm like, Dad, I'm talking to God. I don't understand, you know, what I'm doing wrong. If I'm doing something wrong, my doctor's like, don't stress about it. It's normal, but it's not normal for me. I wasn't happy with it, you know. So I was praying and asking God to show me if there's something I need to do to change it or any of that. And the next few days, this stuff came across my feed, and I started reading and studying. So, and it's kind of funny too, because Dennis did a video last week about eating your food in a certain way and the order that you eat your food, and they've done some studies saying that can help your blood glucose. And for me, I tried it too. Now, I didn't do what Dennis does. Dennis sometimes will do testing for us where he eats a really high carb food, and I'm not there. I'm not ready to do that, and I may never be ready, because I'm always afraid if I start doing that, it's going to set off a craving for me. And I just don't want to get into a situation where I'm having to fight with my body not to do something I know I'm not supposed to be doing. So I tried it with just the regular food that I was eating to see if it would help me. I also did not notice a change in my glucose after I ate. The only thing I did notice was it was a little bit lower after my peak. So in that respect, it may work, but I don't think for type 2 diabetics it's a good way to eat. There's a theory that they're saying if you eat your protein first and then your vegetables and then any kind of high carb food, that, you know, it'll help your blood sugar. That may be true for people that are not type 2s, but I don't believe it works for type 2s, because I had the same results Dennis had, and that it made no difference in the way my glucose goes up after I eat. So for me, that was a no-go. But, you know, we try things, and I mean, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, we move on, you know. So the first thing I want to talk to you all about is this stuff is called Berberine. And I don't know if any of you have ever tried it. I started taking this because when I was first diagnosed and researching different supplements that might help me, I ran across cinnamon and a bunch of other stuff that they were recommending. But then when you go and you do the research on actual cinnamon dosage that it would take to bring your blood sugar down, it's a ridiculous amount of cinnamon. It's like one of those little spice bottles of cinnamon a day. I mean, nobody's going to eat that much cinnamon. It's ridiculous. But this Berberine, people were saying that they were having good results with that. So I started, when I first got diagnosed, I started taking one. And it, you know, I'm not sure if it did anything or not, because my body was reacting to me eating low carb, and my, you know, glucose was dropping. And then I upped it to 2. And I still, you know, didn't see much change, but I kept taking it because, you know, it's supposed to work. And so recently I read an article where they said that they've been trying Berberine on type 2 diabetics, and that what they found was in some cases the Berberine was just as effective as metformin without all of the side effects. So I thought, and the study that I read said that Berberine could be used anywhere from like 400 to 500 milligrams all the way up to 1,500 milligrams per day. And I was like, wow, so I could up mine some more. So the kind I get is from Swanson, and I think I got this from Vitacost. Sometimes I buy it at Vitacost and sometimes I buy it off of Amazon. So I will leave the links to both of those places down for you. If Vitacost has it in stock, it's much cheaper than Amazon. But if you want it and they don't have it, then you know Amazon's a good alternative. So I'll leave both those links down below. But anyway, I was taking 800 milligrams a day, which is 2 tablets. And so I thought, I'm going to up this. I'm going to double it. I'm going to start taking 4 tablets a day. And the reason I made that decision was because when my doctor first diagnosed me, he wanted to put me on metformin, like 1,000 milligrams a day. And so I thought, well, I'm going to up this and see. So I'm currently taking 1,600, I think it's milligrams. Y'all, let me get my glasses on. My little 60-year-old eyes can't see without them. Let's see here. Yeah, it's 400 milligrams per tablet, and I'm taking 4 a day. And what I did was I started just adding 2 at night before my meal, because I have gotten back on track with just having 2 meals a day with no snacking in between. I fell into this real bad habit when I was doing recipes for the channel, where I would test a recipe and then I was grazing as I'm making it, and then eat a little bit of it after the thing was done, and then, you know, an hour or so later actually sit down and have my meal. So what I've done now is I've started, every time I'm making a video for you guys, I'm either having that for my meal, my next meal, or I'm taking a bite of it and I'm putting it up and it's going in the refrigerator for food prep. I'm not sitting there eating while I'm making it, and you know, all of that. So, and I'm really trying just to make what I'm going to eat. So y'all are going to be seeing a lot more stuff because I don't like to get bored with my food. I will tell you this, I am not a doctor, I am not a nutritionist. If you try this, please talk to your doctor about it before you go and do it, just because we always want to be safe. But for me, this has been working really well. My waking blood sugars were running anywhere from like 136 to 145 when I woke up in the morning. And since I've been doing this, I'm waking up in the morning and I'm having blood sugars anywhere from like 115. This morning when I woke up it was 103. So that's a huge change for me for the dawn effect. And I'm seeing my numbers being in the 90s again frequently, so that is also making me feel good about that. And then the other thing that I started doing was somebody posted something online about making dandelion tea, and I thought, I've never heard of anybody doing that. And it surprised me once I started studying about it, because apparently down here in the South it's very common. But in our family, I never heard of anybody doing it, and my mom never did it. So dandelion tea is supposed to help cleanse our liver, and it also is supposed to have a small effect on helping us to control glucose. So I got some of it. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, and this brand is called Yogi, I think, Y-O-G-I, and I found this at my grocery store. And it says it's roasted dandelion spice detox tea. And so I can taste the cinnamon and ginger and stuff that's in here, but the tea itself has got a really nice flavor to me. I really enjoy it. And you know, as with all herbal teas, you're gonna have to try it yourself, because something that one person might like, the other person might not, and vice versa. I was very pleasantly surprised at how much I enjoy this tea. So I have actually started having this in the morning instead of my morning coffee. And I still do my morning coffee or my evening coffee at night because I love my coffee. But in the morning I'm doing tea with my breakfast. And these 2 changes that I'm making seem to be helping. The third thing that I did was I have started getting more sleep. I had gotten into a habit for a long time of just sleeping like 6 hours a night. And I have a business and I work and I'm an artist and I paint and stuff, and then I'm doing this YouTube channel and I got Macy Grace, and it was just like, oh, it's all this stuff. And I was in prayer one night and I just felt God telling me, you're not getting enough sleep. And so I have started sleeping 7.5 to 8 hours a night, and that is also helping me feel better. I don't know if it's having an effect on the dawn effect, but I'm gonna go with this combination of things is working for me. So I hope this helps somebody. And like I said, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not giving you medical advice, I'm just sharing what's worked for me. And if you're interested in this, talk to your doctor about it and see what they say, because it may, if you're a woman like me, like I'm in my 60s, I've had a full hysterectomy, and so a lot of the hormone stuff that they try to give us when we get older is not working on me because I don't have those hormones anymore. So this has really been a game changer for me, and it may work for you too. I don't know, but it was something I wanted to share with you guys, because you know, we're a community here and we're a family who's trying to recover, and I feel like any little thing that we can share that might help somebody is worth sharing, you know. So anyway, my time is up. My tree guy's supposed to be here in about 10 minutes, so I need to wrap this up for now. But when I get back, we'll fix the orange spicy beef that we're having tonight, and you're going to be amazed when you make this how delicious it is. So I'll talk to you guys in a little while. Okay, y'all, so I'm back from all the running around. The car's at the dealership. The funniest thing happened with the tree. The guy came over here to look at the tree, and as he was driving down the road, the tree fell. So it fell right across my driveway. It didn't take out my mailbox. It didn't hurt anybody. So actually that's saving me money because they don't have to climb up and do all that stuff. So they're coming tomorrow to cut it all up and haul it away. So I'm very grateful for that. But it was just kind of funny, the timing of it. And if y'all are interested in seeing that tree, I took pictures of it. So I'll put the pictures at the end of this video if you're interested in seeing them. I won't put them in the middle because some people don't care. But anyway, so I'm back. I've got the meat out of the refrigerator, and I've got a pot of water starting to boil over there. And when we get through this part, we're going to go over to the stove, and I'm going to teach y'all how to make this delicious spicy orange Asian beef. Now, I did want to go over a little bit with the ingredients that are going into the sauce. We are going to be using 2 tablespoons of the Wholesome Yum keto syrup, 2 tablespoons of the G. Hughes sugar-free orange ginger marinade. And y'all, if you've never tried this, it is really, really good. We're going to be doing 1 tablespoon of the sesame oil, 1 tablespoon of sriracha, and 1 tablespoon of the liquid aminos. But we're going to do all that over at the stove. I just wanted to put them here so you could see what we're going to need for that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put my little strainer in the sink and put this little thing of meat in the strainer, and I'm going to rinse. And then we're going to cook the rest of it out of this meat when we put it in the boiling water. And I know it doesn't sound like it's going to be appetizing or work. I'm telling y'all, it is amazing. So I'm going to put my little sprayer thing here and just get the cornstarch and the baking soda rinsed off of here really, really good. And then whatever's left in the meat or on the meat is going to cook out when we put it in the boiling water. And this, I'm going to forewarn y'all, when you use one of your bigger pans to do this, because it's going to foam up on you as this stuff starts boiling out of it. You're going to get a foam, and it could boil over if you don't watch it carefully. So just be aware that that's going to happen, and it's completely normal. We're going to skim that off the top of the water before we take the meat out. But it's just part of the process, so don't let it freak you out, because it kind of freaked me out the first time I did it. Nobody warned me about that part. Alright. So we got this rinsed off pretty good here. And don't be surprised or worried if the meat feels a little, it's not slimy, it's just, it feels a little filmy, and I think that's because of the way the baking soda and the cornstarch break down the proteins and the muscles in the meat. And anyway, I'm going to take this over to the stove, and I'm going to get the camera set up over there, and this will be ready in like 5 or 10 minutes. It's super fast. So let me get that set up and I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, so I'm over at the stove. I'm saying hi, but I got the camera so y'all can see the pot instead of me. So we're just going to pour this into the pan here. And I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to try to let y'all see. You see how that cornstarch and the baking soda has kind of started to break apart that meat protein in there. So that's what you're looking for. But if you leave it in the refrigerator 2 hours or more, you won't have to worry about looking for it because it's just going to naturally do it. So I've got a bigger soup pot here, and because it's just a little bit of meat. But like I said, it is going to foam up and everything. Let me go throw this away and put this in the sink. I'll be right back because I got to watch this as it's cooking. All right, I'm going to turn the heat on my water up a little bit. I had turned it down while I was getting everything ready because I made myself a little sticky rice to go with mine tonight, and I'll put the link to the sticky rice up here in the video, and I'll also put it down in the description for you. And also, I need to grab a bowl here. Let me reach over here and get a bowl because I'm going to be skimming that stuff off of the meat. So, and this takes a few minutes, not too long, but a few minutes, because you want to make sure that you're getting the meat cooked through, but you don't want to cook it. Like you want to parboil it, I guess is what we would call it. You want to cook it till the pink's gone, but we don't want to overcook it. And then we're going to make the sauce in a minute, put it in the sauce. Alright, so I'll be back in a minute when this starts boiling and foaming up, because I know you don't want to sit here and watch water boil. So I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, so it's boiling and it's lifting up and this foam's coming off the top of it, and I'm going to have to take it off the burner because it'll boil up on you really quick. Don't let it freak you out. Just take it off the heat and it'll go back down. I even tried putting a little bit of oil in here to stop it, but it doesn't help. It still does it. And I think it's just because all that stuff is cooking out of the meat, which is good. So I've got that skimmed off here. Let me turn this heat down a little bit more. Move this over here again. I've still got just a little bit of pink in there that I want to boil out. And I think one of the reasons that this stuff doesn't raise my blood sugar, because like I told y'all earlier, I was really concerned about the cornstarch in it. And I think one of the reasons that it doesn't do anything to my blood sugar is because it's all cooking out and boiling out when we're doing this process here. So, and this is taking all of about 4 or 5 minutes for it to get to this point. So we're done with the meat here. So I'm going to put this in the sink and bring my other pan over here, and we're going to make the sauce, and before you know it, it'll be ready. I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, now we're ready to make the sauce. This sauce is so delicious and so easy. I love it, y'all. I mean, I really, when you get through and you get this velveted beef and you cook it in this sauce and put it over either the low-carb rice or the viral noodles, it is so close to the real deal Chinese food, you're going to be amazed. I know I was. Alright, so, and all we need is a tablespoon to measure all this stuff out. So we're going to do 2 tablespoons. And now I'm cooking a ½ pound. So if you are doing a pound of meat, you need to double this sauce recipe. But for ½ pound, this is a perfect amount. So 2 tablespoons of the orange marinade. 2 tablespoons of the Wholesome Yum simple syrup. I'm so glad that they came up with the simple syrup because it has been a total game changer for me with sauces and things like that. It's amazing. Alright, and then my sriracha lid's been acting weird lately, so I have to be careful or I'll be wearing it. Oh, we're going to behave today. Thank you for behaving on camera. 1 tablespoon of sriracha. I'm trying to get this lid open, y'all. Alright. 1 tablespoon of the aminos, the liquid aminos, and then 1 tablespoon of the sesame oil. And that is it. You don't have to add anything else to this. If you wanted to, you could add some garlic. And I'm a garlic girl, but honestly, I like it just fine the way it is. I don't add garlic, salt, pepper, nothing. It's perfect, just like this for me. Let me put this in the sink. I'll be right back. Okay, and so all I'm going to do is stir this up and incorporate everything. And I've got my heat set on medium. And all I'm going to do is stir it up until everything's mixed well and combined. And then we're going to take this beef out and we're going to put it in the sauce. And we're going to let it cook in the sauce till the sauce thickens up a little bit, which doesn't take long at all. And I have just been so completely happy with this recipe. You know, because it's always nice when something works out. Hang on, my tongs are in the dishwasher. I'll be right back. Because for me, it's always nice when a recipe works out, you know. And I've just been, like I said, really, really happy with this one. And I think you will be too if you like sweet, spicy stuff and Asian cuisine. And I think I told you earlier, if not, I'm going to be working on a chicken one this week because I'd like to try to do the same thing with the chicken and make like the chicken. I don't know what I'm going to substitute for the snap peas. Maybe broccoli. We'll see. But I'm going to do that with a white sauce, and I think it's going to be just as delicious because the chicken is probably going to be even easier to velvet and tenderize than the steak. I cut a chicken breast against the grain the other night, thinking, you know, it would really, really tenderize it. It tenderized it some, but it didn't tenderize it the way this did. So I'm curious to see when I do the chicken how long it takes it to tenderize and how much different it is, because it wasn't bad. I mean, I had it with my dinner. I like chicken, but it just wasn't the same tenderness level that I was looking for and that I've been able to achieve with this beef doing this technique. Alright, so I've got this mixed up in the sauce now, and the sauce is still pretty thin, so I'm going to let it cook in here for probably about 3 or 4 minutes and let it get thickened up, and then I'll come back and I'll show you. And like I said, I've got some low carb sticky rice that I made, and I'm going to put my sticky rice in a bowl and serve this over and let you guys see when I do a taste test. And I'll be back in just a few. Alright y'all, so it's done. Now I will tell you that the sauce, if you want it to be even thicker than this, just cook it a few minutes longer because it continues to thicken up as you go. I don't like mine too terribly thick, but it is really tasty. Almost dropped a precious piece. And this makes 2 servings. The half pound makes 2 servings. And I'm going to get a little bit of this sauce. This recipe without the rice that I'm eating has got 235 calories and only 1.25 carbs in it. That's right. And just, you know, make sure you cook using the carb count for whatever you put over it. I've got to add in my rice here, my macros for my rice. But it's done and it's beautiful. I'm going to give y'all a little close-up because I'm doing my camera work by myself tonight. Doesn't that look beautiful? So give me just a second and get set up over there and we'll do a taste test. Okay guys, we're ready. I cannot wait. I'm excited. This is my dinner tonight. And I'm very excited. This stuff cuts like butter. You know how that saying goes, oh, it's like butter? It is. Yes, Macy agrees. She's playing with her shark toy right now. Mace, be quiet, babe, okay? Can you be quiet for a moment? Thank you. Alright guys, here we go. It is amazing. Yes. Do y'all ever eat food and you just want to do a little happy dance about it? That's what this does to me. I love it. So, give this a try if you've been missing Chinese food. And like I say, I'm going to have another recipe with chicken that's coming up a week, I hope. That's my goal, y'all. But it's fabulous. I think you're really going to like it. I appreciate you coming to hang out with me and cook with me today. And I appreciate you being patient with me with all the craziness that's been going on in my day today. But we got it done, so that's the most important thing. So I'm getting ready to feed Miss Macy, and I'm going to sit down and have my dinner. And I hope y'all have a most wonderful evening. I love you guys so much, and I thank you so much for your love and support. If you have not subscribed, I would appreciate it if you consider doing so. And whether you subscribe or not, if you would hit that like button for me, it really does help people find my channel that's just been diagnosed. And we all know how scary it was when we got diagnosed. So I appreciate you doing that to help other people. I've got a nap in here. So y'all have a fabulous, fabulous week, and I will talk to you soon. Love you much. Bye-bye.